Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is episode 231. And that's not a question. That's actually the episode. I'm in a new place today. I haven't been here
this
a
year.
long time. This year, yeah. I guess that would be true. The Church Room Bar, here we are. Welcome back from wherever you were. From afar, we'll say.
From afar.
From afar. You're back. The Brew Crew's back together.
The Brew Crew back in the same place because we did do a bunch of episodes. I've got the spreadsheet up right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, we actually I wrote it down. We actually just caught up a little bit, just life in general.
Just life.
But it's good to be back. And then I was trying to do because I was like, well, I'll figure it out organically. The last time we were in person together, so it was December. But again, like going back, so because I don't have all of your stuff written down.
Okay.
That you guys did.
Ahead.
But I think it was the first week because we did the special episode at the I think it was the first week in December.
Oh yeah. Was it the 14th? I thought maybe.
Yeah. So we did the 12th, but
the 12th,
we did
yeah.
that was a Sunday.
Okay.
When we did it. Either way, it's been a long time because now we're in May.
Now
it's
going to
be May.
It is May.
It is May. And so that roughly 6 months.
Roughly 6 months, yeah. Or more.
It's crazy, right?
That is crazy.
Like I was just
that's a long time.
I was just talking with multiple people on my journey back home about the Advent calendar.
Yeah.
We're halfway to the Advent calendar.
I mean, that's crazy. We almost, if we
5
did this
months
twice
away
a year,
because
we'd almost be
we build it in November.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's going to be fun.
It's crazy.
It's going to be huge this year.
So either way, there's going to be so much to talk about. This is, and we talked about it when I was in the hotel. So this is the beers that we got to do together. So that's JT's, and then JT has, because we ran out of room on the table.
I got all kinds here.
So then
got
JT,
cold beer, hot beer.
It's
going. I boiled this one. It's nice and hot.
Yeah, because this is the Spruce Explosion. This is the episode that I was questioning about. So this is the 49th state, and then that's the War on Xmas.
Yeah.
So that was the 26th. We did that one. That one was from afar.
Yep. So some of these we've done together, and some of these I tried to maintain when I could beers that we did without you.
Yeah.
So we got the Three Legends, which we did last week. I did the with the habanero beer or whatever that one was, the Prohibition style, which I did with Stev. I don't even remember when I did the Sycamore beer.
It's crazy. So anyways we'll figure this all out. And
we got some Fruit Force for you.
I had a Fruit Force.
Chuggalo Jeff.
I had a Fruit Force. That by the way, that episode was amazing. Chuggalo Jeff.
Yeah, he was so good, and the conversation was so natural.
I have a hookup that I was introduced to. We just exchanged a couple of text messages. He's the vice president of Badger Distributing for the entire state of Wisconsin.
No way.
And he wants to be on.
Oh, let's do it.
He's checked it out. I'm like, we will figure this out.
Oh,
he is way
up there.
Way up there. And again, the distribution game is something that when we started this 5 years ago, we didn't even think about.
Right.
Like getting into that. Because Ohio is so cockamamie with their distribution.
But they're the most knowledgeable.
They're the most knowledgeable, yeah.
Obviously, they're not brewmasters, but they know so much about the beer market, and it's kind of what this podcast is. There are you introduced me to the guy who does the no frills beer reviews, and that's all about beer and the technicalities within. Whereas we're kind of talking about the market, what we like, what we don't like as consumers. Yeah. So a distributor actually makes the most sense to us.
It does.
Just based on what this podcast is all about.
Because then, by natural affiliation, they drink their product too, and they don't have an iron in the fire, being that they're not a brewmaster of one set of product or their own thing. But granted, again, that even hearing about it in Connecticut, what does where,
right,
and then times of season and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's just
and even without spreadsheets, it's the mental analytics that he's doing to figure out market niche distributions and stuff is pretty impressive.
And the information he was able to pull just like a katana. Anyways, so while I had one question for this whole time, and I made sure I wrote it down. You're starting up, and we can think about this as we go through. You're starting up, because I didn't even write it down. You're starting up your own bar or your own brewery, either way. And you're limited to 5 taps.
5 taps. Wow.
What are your 5 beers that you're going to have there?
Wow, great question.
And this is, again, I didn't pose it on anyone because I wanted it fresh here. I wanted to ask it to a couple of people when I was drinking on the way back home. Because you can't... anyways, I don't want to tip my hand. Because I have theories. I have not written them down. But again, it's something we can...
Yeah.
This is
a good question. I've already got lots of thoughts on it.
Right.
I have opinions on, like, I go into a bar and I feel like I'm disappointed by the beer menu so often.
Right.
And it's not that they have to customize it to me,
yeah.
but I think that the rotation needs to be... I mean, I don't know what the fiscal effects of pulling a keg before it's blown are. But I feel like at least if you have several, maybe even 20 taps, 10 taps even, put one on a experimental rotation.
Yeah, like if you have a bunch of taps or whatever, if you have the space or whatever, like have one be like you say experimental or a risk or not.
Yeah, right. Something that like Archers, for example. Archers, I think they have a good tap menu if you visit them maximum of twice.
Yeah.
After that, you're going to be like, I don't really want any of this beer. I'll drink it because it's good beer. But I want something, like I'm out with the family, I want to try a new beer. I don't want to just keep drinking the same old shit. And maybe that's unique to us or me. But, like, I don't order Truth anymore. Not that you shouldn't serve Truth. That would be one of the things I'd probably have on tap. I'd have a Busch Light tap. Because you got to have the light beer drinkers.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit if you want Bud or Miller Lite. I'm going to give you Busch Light. And if you don't want that, then you can drink one of the craft beers.
So is that your first commitment to the 5? You're going to say Busch Light?
Yeah. I think we have too many light options. I think it should be like Coke and Pepsi, where the restaurants need to choose which light beer they're going to serve. Don't have 3 or 4 taps dedicated to all the different light beers.
Yeah.
If you're a Miller Lite drinker and they have Bud Light on tap or Busch Light, you can get a can.
Yeah. You
can get a can of it. That's just what it should be, in my opinion. And then, should there be a heavy version of that? Maybe. I don't know. Do enough people drink Budweiser to dedicate a tap? If you only get 5, I'm going with American Light Beer.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Ohio Standard, probably Truth.
Okay.
Maybe Boat Show. Maybe Rotation.
Yeah.
Then you have to have a stout, whether I agree with it or not.
Yeah.
You got to have a stout. And then I'm going to have my one rotating one, which will be probably sours, mostly. But then some experimental stuff, if I can find it. And if it's not, I think I would go 6 days. On the 7th day, it needs to be rotated out, whether it's blown or not. Because you want to accommodate people who frequent your establishment. Yeah. You're probably going to have 4 standards, I think.
Interesting.
Now, like King's Table does a good job, but they have enough taps to where their standards there, I never, still to this day, haven't even realized are not in a rotation. But enough of them are in rotation.
My theory goes, so do you go for profitability or do you go to like satiate? Because again, like,
well, what kind of bar is it?
Right, and that's the thing. Like then again, I didn't flush it completely out because I wanted to create the conversation.
Yeah,
but
that's a good idea.
So I didn't go with a light beer. I just wrote it down really quick. Obviously, in no particular order. I have a WIPA because hazies are overdone. Even on the world market, going to 4 different countries in 4 different days, the hazies dominate too much. So it's taken over. Unfortunately, I tried to go to Dildo Brewing again in Canada, and they were closed for renovations.
Oh, son of a bitch! Probably making it longer, right?
Making it more appealing to
making the grand hall a little girthier.
Yeah, a little more full.
Maybe having more tap lines go throughout. The outer walls.
Yep, closed for renovations.
A little veiny.
Sorry for the inconvenience, Dildo Brewing.
Hey, fair enough.
So anyways, back to the 5 beers.
Yeah.
My number one's gonna be a Whippa. It's gotta be a Whippa. So that's my first beer, and then we'll get to the beer here. But first beer I will commit to is a Whippa. First beer you're committing to is American Light.
Yeah.
Busch Light. You're even willing to.
Well, I mean, I do. I guess I do need to think more about what this be like. If it's a bar my dad's going to.
Yep. See, this is the thing.
Then I'm not going to have any craft beer probably. But because to my dad, Leinenkugel's is craft beer, and that's as far as he'll go, and he loves it, and that's cool for him, and that's fine.
You gotta have something. Yeah.
But for me, I'm never going to order the Busch Light at a bar because I'm out.
Yeah.
I want some craft beer, unless I'm out. Maybe we're playing darts or doing jukebox stuff. Like at Beaver View. I would order light beer because I want to sustain my night.
I was just gonna say a sustained day.
Yeah, but most of the time when I go out at this current age that I am, not the age of the what do you call it? Just the age that we're in.
Yeah.
The times. Not that. The age that I am.
In different times.
When I go out, rarely am I doing a sustained thing. Just going out with wife and kids for dinner.
Yeah.
But if it's a bar that we're going to, you gotta have craft beer.
Gotta have craft beer. All right. So that's that, and we'll flush it out. The first beer, which was gifted, and I said I will get to it, is from Hoops Brewing. This came from Chuggalo Ryan, and he bequeathed this monster, this crowler, to me in January. Mm-hmm. So it was canned on January 8th. And this is Hoops Brewing out of Duluth, Minnesota. It's their number 325 Chili Pepper Ale.
Oh, fantastic. And
it's a crowler. So it's going to be amazing.
So we talked a little bit about this on last week's episode.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear it. If you're watching because Matt's back and you didn't watch a single episode that I was in without Matt.
Yeah.
Had a habanero one last week. And I talked about how the chili pepper specifically was different.
The chili pepper was
different. In a different beer, I had a different beer in the past with chili pepper. And I thought that at the time, and I'm not spoiling anything because this is a past conversation. So I haven't had this beer yet, so I'm not judging it. But the habanero beer had habanero flavor. Thank you.
You betcha.
And that added to the beer, I think, a little bit. I still gave it a low score. But the chili pepper beer that I'd had in the past, that did not have any flavor from the chili. Or chili pepper. It was just spice. So, oh yeah, you could smell that. Wow.
So I'm wondering if he gave this to me as a joke. I didn't ask. I always take it
spicy beer
as a hint. I'm sorry that I didn't get that one. Now I got to go back. Now I feel bad picking a chili beer. So 2 weeks in a row for you. But a little bit about Hoops Brewing. It's their first foray onto the pod. They're out of, again, Duluth, Minnesota. This is their chili pepper ale, 5.4%. They're known as a beer hall. Their website is terrible. Go to hoopsbrewing.com or don't. It says, don't brew scared.
Don't brew scared.
And what's Hoops Brewing named after, if you would guess?
Hoops Brewing is named after, and this is out of Duluth, you said?
Indeed.
Wow. Is it connected to Duluth?
It is. The brewery is in Duluth. Is it something Duluth-centric? I don't believe so.
Is it named after Kevin Garnett?
An old wooden ship. No, the guy's name is Dave Hoops.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Dave Hoops. I didn't know if maybe it was a basket. Garnett played for the Timberwolves, right?
Yep, he did.
Yeah.
And then
try
to be a part owner. It's interesting because we didn't talk about it during catching up.
Hawking gambling shit.
When I was gone, I only had 5 drinks. I only had one of those 5 drinks was a beer. It was a 10% diesel. It wasn't very good.
10% diesel.
But I'm still trying to get back into beer drinking shape, question mark. I lost 31.6 pounds, and I attribute most of that to not drinking.
Wow. Congrats.
And not eating, but mostly not drinking. So I'm easing myself back into it. So I'm definitely a teetotaler now. But this is an interesting...
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of 10%, just before I forget, the beer that I got you for your birthday, which is 40 ABV, but 10 per can.
Yeah. Drink them in one sitting.
It's hard to find exactly 10.0 ABV, but I did, and most of them are hazies. And I'll have you know, I did not get you the hazies.
So that's a tripla.
Because I knew you wouldn't want those.
Would you be up to doing it on the pod sometime?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on the pod.
Yeah.
God, there's so much beer. Here's the other thing.
So much beer.
So, like, again, I kept a pretty good fridge when I was gone, and, like, keeping beer, and, again, most of it was kept in my office because it was too cold in my car. I now have just an assortment of just random beers, and a lot of them are sours, and you can't cellar a sour. So, like, I've had some that I don't think that were in optimal shape. So it's been a few months, or, I bought them mostly in January, but... Are you finding that too? Because you keep a pretty good stock. I'm all over the place with this stuff today, so I'm sorry, folks.
It's all good.
Like I went and had one last night, and I was like, okay, like, again, all that work, losing. I'm like, okay, I'll have one, But it didn't feel prime.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know they say drink fresh, and I tried to keep them optimum, but like in my fridge now they're optimum, but like in my office I couldn't. Store them all in the fridge.
So, I mean, that's really going to be... That'll be the downside to a sour is they need to find a suitable preservative for that.
Yeah.
Because you can't drink them all fresh. Or you can't drink them all. Because there's no way you can't just buy a bunch of sours unless you plan on getting absolutely hammered every day.
Yeah.
So... I find that too. I get just some sours that wind up sitting for a while, and then I get nervous to drink it.
Yeah. Then I feel bad.
I don't like it as much. Yeah, and I wasted money.
Yeah, like
so I drink it.
$35 on a 4-pack, and you're like drinking it less than optimum. This beer.
This beer has character.
It's a 1-note chili pepper, but I mean it delivers.
It does deliver.
I'm wondering if he gave this to us as a joke. He knows, Chuggalo Ryan knows I like. Oh, speaking of which, I'm glad he sent gifts for you. So that's why it was another reason. So Chuggalo Ryan, he hasn't seen these. Look he sent you these.
Thank you. Yeah,
he knows that you're a card collector.
He mentioned something about this on our comments, I think.
Yep.
Ryan Sandberg. There he is.
Yep. Look at that guy.
Rhino. Yep, Chuck McElroy, I remember him. Jose Vizcaíno. Man, brings back memories.
So I'm glad I remember that.
WGN.
So there you go.
Brings back those memories.
Yeah, let's get out of here, Bally. Oh, I don't like their coverage.
I don't know. What's up with that?
Yeah. But anyways, there you go.
The Cubs have their own network now. It's kind of weird. Not a huge fan, but whatever. It's not going to matter until they start winning. This beer is...
Wow.
It does have spice in it, but I will admit, it has an interesting flavor, which I wasn't expecting. A chili pepper ale. It actually, if you took the spice away, or even if you left it there, this beer actually tastes like pico de gallo.
Interesting.
I think there's even a hint, and I wonder if they use corn in this beer because it has a hint of like tortilla chips, like as if I'm literally eating tortilla chips and salsa. The only thing about tortilla chips and salsa, this beer does taste like a Spanish Mexican chips and salsa. That's the definitive statement from me. But the spiciness from most Mexican foods on the tongue, whereas this one's in the throat, which is the only real difference I could feel with this from food versus beverage. But way better than I expected it to be. I was expecting to hate it.
If you want a chili pepper beer, this is your home run.
Definitely,
this is,
if that's what you want. Yeah.
I've had spicy beers before. This is like part of me and like cooking and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out like what I could do with this.
Yeah, you could do a lot.
Like, inject it in some meat, tenderize it or whatever. And
I bet you could probably
Chuggalo Ryan's a smoker, griller, like a master when it comes to that stuff. I'm curious.
You probably you could probably marinate some like barbacoa or something, or
even barbacoa.
Maybe inject your refried beans with it. Just make a little liquidier refried bean.
Taco Day. There was one Tuesday where they didn't have Taco Day in the location I was in.
Oof.
And they bamboozled us, and I was like, I didn't go eat that day.
Oh wow!
I protested. There was a few days where I just wouldn't eat.
How dare they?
Right, but that was my one vice. I'd go have some cabbage and refried, and people would make fun of me. Cabbage, refried beans, and bean sprouts.
Oh, because you were doing like a low carb thing.
Oh yeah. But refried beans.
Refried beans.
This is. Okay. My submission. You have to go first.
Yeah.
Then the next one's going to be a Whopper.
You got another one? Oh, okay. I brought beer just in case. I wasn't sure how we'd handle the beer.
We're going to share the next one, though.
Okay.
Much like this, but not in the same size.
All right.
You know what's coming next. I've told you.
What do I think about this beer? It's better than I expected. I don't know that I like spicy beer. I wonder what would have happened had I have not had a sandwich before I got here, and I had typically what I eat for lunch is like we do cheese and we're also kind of low carb, but I don't really follow it. But for lunch every day we do meat, cheese, and crackers, but instead of crackers we do pickles.
Yeah, adult Lunchables.
I've never heard anyone else doing pickles on that.
Yeah, so
I thought that we had that original idea and it was really good.
So my wife comes home and she will.
Adult Lunchables. Yeah.
She'll roll up meat and cheese in a deli.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, similarly we do that. But we get a brick of cheese, my wife and I, and then we get like the nice like pepperoni salami kind of mixture.
Yeah.
It's already cut and stuff. But instead of crackers, we do the flat slices of pickle. And I wonder if I had that, which I usually have, but today was a little different because I had to work in person today. I wonder what the difference would be, because usually the spicy stuff, I don't normally like it. And I wonder if it's because right before this I had an Italian sandwich from that Subby's place.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was already kind of like salivating. It's a little spicy. I don't know. It actually, whatever it is, maybe it's complemented by my lunch. Maybe it's totally surviving on its own. I think this beer has pretty good flavor. And like you said, if you want a spicy beer that's made with chili pepper, this is the one to get.
Yep.
It definitely has more flavor than any other spicy beer I've had. Most of them are just like, we're spicy.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Hello.
This one has actual flavor. So I don't mind giving this beer, even though I probably wouldn't personally select it. I'm also in a position where I wouldn't turn it down if I was offered it again. So 3.5.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I off the top rope feels good to say that.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been off the top rope in a while. I'm also at a 3.5. I just thought for a chili I would put the beef or whatever. I'd cook the beef down in this just to give.
That's a good idea
for chili.
A little reduction, is that what they call it?
Yeah. It's pleasant in the fact that it's not overpowering. The chili's not overpowering.
Yeah, it's not.
This is a 12-ounce can would be enough. A crowler is a lot for even two dudes to do on a beer podcast, I feel like. This is... God, and why is this a Christmas beer? What screams about Christmas chili? But again, off the top rope, 3.5.
Maybe it's not.
It executes, but I'm over this one.
Perhaps the label
is deceiving.
It's just their Christmas label.
Yeah.
Like, it's because maybe people gift beer. And they're like, here, it's already wrapped. And the chili pepper is totally separate from the idea of Christmas.
I'm wondering what pepper it is.
Chili.
But like that capsaicin. Yeah, but like, some people like chili is generic for people, But that capsaicin there, that level is appropriate. Gosh, it's just it's a solid gimmick. But I'm thinking it's like you want to be known, if you have a brewery, the kiss of death we've always said is go to brewery X, their pizza's phenomenal.
Yeah.
The thing with this beer is the even if you take it out, the ale part of it is also is also quite good. It's just the reason I'm at a 3.5 is because I couldn't have more than one of these every once in a while.
Right. I agree. But I think that the flavor here, it does make me want to try Hoops Brewing other beers, non-spicy ones. I do wonder though, like if you were to eat chips and salsa, not like
I like the chips and salsa idea.
Not like the shitty like thick maroon red this color salsa that you get at Kroger, but like you ever see the Costco one that's like fresh cut?
Fresh, yeah. Almost like you said, like almost like pico.
Yeah, like pico. If you were to eat that, then take a sip of this beer would become invisible. In my opinion, like it's so. Every time I sip it, I'm like, holy shit, I'm eating chips and salsa. Like it's so crazy how close it is.
Yeah, you put that like that fragment on my palate, and I'm thinking of now like salad,
like that fruit
or not
fresh salsa, fresh cut salsa, little jalapeno.
Ooh, also a beer chaser for a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, that would be good.
In Canada, by the way, they do a Bloody Caesar, gross, clamato juice.
Clamato? I don't even know what that is.
It's clam juice, but
I don't want that.
Clamato, clam, tomato, like they make it. You've seen it.
I'm good. I don't want
it's just
that.
But it's Bloody
sneeze.
Caesar, and it's less than ideal.
Whoop! Gotta whip that up.
No, this is I'm gonna save this because I'm gonna go to my second beer. So you're on an American Light for our 5. My second beer that I wrote down is a Pils. It's going to be a craft Pils. I still agree, and JT and I talked about this. This is going to be the year craft of the Pils.
Okay.
In the hopes
craft
that that's enough to satiate the light drinkers to go to like a Pils.
Maybe.
You're safe 10 and 2.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's my second beer. So I'm at a Whippa. I'm at a Pils.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with a standard IPA.
Standard
for
IPA.
My second. So probably Truth, but I'll rotate in both show.
So, are you? You're just gonna say IPA? It's gonna be.
We're saying I'm
in
Ohio.
It's not gonna be a NEPA or
no,
Whippa,
just a regular IPA.
Okay.
Something that recognizable. So if we're in Ohio, I'm going Truth, Boat Show.
No, you're.
Or at least Dayton. If I'm in Illinois, even though I disagree with it, probably throw in some Goose Island, just because people recognize it.
So something recognizable, like a safe
something
place.
That locals will be like, yep, that's my go-to beer. Or I can get that and feel like I can drink it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're going to be much more profitable than I am.
My bar's going down it's going down the more like serve everybody.
Serve everybody.
Route where you're going down to like serve, I think you're going to serve specific craft beer drinkers. Especially with that Whippa. You're going to get a lot of twirly mustache guys in there.
Oh. Did you
Oh, yeah.
Did you see my sweet mustache, by the way?
I did. I had a comment on it.
I'm going to show you a picture.
It's less funny without context.
A picture a picture that will never be sent. It's kind of like our one Christmas episode that will never ever see the light of day. But I was requested to shave my mustache, and I was told to shave it like that.
Oh yeah,
that will never see the light of day. But either way, fun stuff. So did you have a mustache comment? I just went and got some hot meat. This also came
I did, but
this also came from Ryan.
It wouldn't be interesting.
I found Richard. While we're talking about beers, I found apparently where Richard came from was the island of Crete. There was a whole stand of these.
What?
So there's many pictures of me.
Oh, you and Richard's
Richards
cousins and brothers.
And so, anyways, they're like, you don't. And I just sent that picture today to the couple of people I was with. And I was like, I honestly have one. And they're like, who would buy this? I was like, I have one. Like,
you have one, but who would buy it?
Yeah, and they're like, this is, and these are dudes I'm drinking with, and they're like, this is off-putting, or like, they're like, this is hilarious, and there's pictures of me like holding on to it or whatever.
There was a compliment to that didn't make its way into your collection, but it was the vagina.
Oh yeah, well, I was told I had a vagina bottle opener that you put on a wall. It's installed at the cabin because the wife said that if it stayed in the house, that I wouldn't be staying in the house anymore.
That's strict. That's too strict.
Yeah. It's good to have rules and boundaries.
It's the church room bar, for God's sakes.
Okay. So our second beer is Revolution Chicago.
Oh, hell yeah.
Straight Jacket. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture.
Mm-hmm.
This is a barley wine aged in bourbon barrels. 15%. We're going to share this one.
Yeah, that's smart.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So that's why we have multiple glasses out. An arresting embrace of malt and barrel. So, again, they have multiple straight jackets, but this is the one that's aged in bourbon barrels. So then it gets it up to a 15%. Mm-hmm. So this is... What an exciting day.
Yeah, this is exciting. What type of bourbon barrels? Did it say anything? Because Revolution, they're big enough to have a corporate sponsor, yeah. Or a corporate partner.
This, I'm excited because this, it doesn't matter. You know, we were talking about sours and freshness or whatever. This can sit around for a millennia. And
I feel like this is going to have one flavor.
One flavor.
Not alcohol. One that's not alcohol. Maybe two flavors then.
You're gonna taste the salsa and chips on this one.
Yeah. Just smell it there.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, thank you.
I've got so many. Like I have a bomber specifically I bought for us that I wanted to do, but I promised I would do that, and then I can't do that bomber and do that because then we're gonna be bombed.
Yeah. Man, the smell. It's barley wine, right? The smell is just barley wine.
I'm tempted, like, as we ruminate on this, because you got to ruminate,
I mean, our palates are, like, in a weird state right now because of the meat and the chili beer.
Everything.
But whatever the state it's in, I'd recommend having your palate be in that state when you drink this beer.
So, Revolution, we've done multiple times on the podcast, so I'm not going to go too much into them. They're out of Chicago. S-tier brewery out of Chicago. Everything that they do. You can find out more at revbrew.com.
S-tier. Wow.
S-tier.
Other than Fantano, I've never heard anyone use that.
I think I have before. Because I think you were aware of it because your sons. Because they're...
I'm only aware of it because of
tier.
Fantano, Anthony Fantano, the YouTuber who reviews music. But
he does.
But we don't agree on almost anything. But he does a tier list, and S is the top tier. What does S mean?
Because it goes, F, A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
But then it goes S tier.
Yeah, what's S mean? Super?
Stupid awesome.
Supreme?
Speaking of bands, did you get your Blink-182 tickets?
I did.
That's awesome.
Very expensive. Cleveland.
Not Pittsburgh. Cleveland.
Well, so we knew they were going to be hot ticket items, and if you guys don't like Blink-182, I mean, that's...
I like what you did there. You said hot ticket item.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a hot ticket item because it was. That's actually, I never really put that together, that's probably referring to tickets.
Yeah.
Well, so my wife was on one computer with Detroit, and I was on the other computer with Cleveland, and we were just adding to cart until we could finally get through. And it took me, I think, 6 tries before I finally got through to the cart.
Long story short, he has 45 tickets.
My wife never did. No, if you add to cart, but those tickets get taken while you're adding to cart, you don't get them. So you have to go back and do it again. So it was just like Ticketmaster's so fucked up, but they're making money like crazy. So we finally got them. Yeah, we're gonna go to Cleveland in May. This month, 2 weeks from now, to see Blink-182 with the kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was very expensive, but Blink-182 knows their audience. They're all adults now.
That have money.
That have money, yeah.
That are successful.
So,
I'm going to Deftones and Foo Fighters later this month.
Oh, nice.
I've
seen the Foo Fighters before. I've never seen Deftones, obviously.
I've never seen Foo Fighters. I think I've seen Dave Grohl. I've seen Queens before.
Oh, okay. I've never seen Dave Grohl drum live. But yeah, I've seen Foo Fighters.
I say that because you're
Milwaukee
as a
Fest,
drummer.
Actually, that's where I saw them.
I tried to get into one of my coworkers when I was deployed. There's a bunch of people that I was working with there, like, oh, we didn't know you had a podcast. So then I have like 15 new Untapped friends, and I think we got like 2 subscribers out of it. But we'll see now that I'm back. But he's a drummer. So I was like, oh, my podcast partner. And then like 6 people heard like podcast partner. I go, yeah, my podcast partner is a drummer. Yeah. I go, he does it to work out. I go, wow. And I wish you had business cards. So I did throw out like Accident Brewing. But
oh, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not on anything. We're not on anything like Spotify or whatever. No. But I'm in a new band called Faceless Leader. We don't have any recordings, but
is that with Breacher?
Yeah,
the guy that we both know.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. He's so good. He's one of the best musicians I've met.
He puts a lot of time and care into it. And Faceless Leader is an amazing name.
Yeah, it took us a long time. We always were like, a name will come. And we were always just we had a running list of names that we would think of just on our own. Yeah. Or like, eventually we'll be together and something will happen. And we took a trip to Sweetwater, the music store in Indiana. Yeah. It was like a 2-hour drive each way. And still nothing ever came of it. But then one day we were sitting jamming in his house, and I said something about Faceless Leaders. Probably talking about like, politicians who, I don't know. And he was like, holy shit, Faceless Leader, that's it. And it was. So that's it. It's a cool name.
Son of a gun. I was just trying to update this. The nice thing with that is that everyone is serious about it enough. Like, you guys are all on the same, like, obviously you're not quitting your day jobs. No. But, it's nice to go, jam out. Yeah. With your
songs that we've written they're pretty listenable. From a non-biased perspective, non-biased as I could be, he writes songs that are listenable, like catchy, fun. Yeah, they're good. It's gonna be good. We're gonna record. I guess he knows somebody who's building a recording studio, and so we're gonna be the first people to record. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm excited for you guys, and I'm excited to buy. I don't want to be gifted because I will buy.
I hope that we could play at like Blind Bob's or something.
Even better.
Yeah, that way we can have people come out. And
just don't order a Bloody Mary down there because they use olive juice.
No, their burgers are good though. If you never ordered food at Blind Bob's, it's worth it.
Can I? That's awesome. Can I tell you? I totally forgot about.
Anyway, I was the drummer and your friend. I totally
no. Can I tell you? When I was over there, we would share jokes, but one of them is beer related. Oh, yeah? I'm hoping to use this.
Yeah, let's use it.
Okay. What's the difference between a clit and Bud Light?
You can. I don't know. You can find Bud Light.
Even after a couple of licks, a clit stops tasting like piss. Good?
Yeah,
right?
That's a good joke. That's a good joke. Yeah. That's a good joke. Especially about Bud Light.
Yeah, see? And it's beer related. It's a beer podcast. Should I do one more joke? Do you want one more?
If you got more, yeah.
It's not a beer joke, though. Okay. What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean?
I don't know.
I've never had a garbanzo bean on my face. Man, this beer... Wow.
Yeah, that's good. Those are good jokes.
Oh, there's more of it, but we gotta save some of the fun.
There's so much to talk about. It's been months.
It is. We're all over the place.
We've done there's baseball. So much to talk about, but we won't bore you with it.
No, I'm in first place fantasy, and then I'm
in last place.
I lost this week to a guy that doesn't even maintain his team.
I'm in last place, and I do maintain my team. By the way, I make free agent pickups, and I set my lineup every day. And I'm in last place. I have 5 starting pitchers on IL.
Jeez.
All great, too. All great pitchers.
Yeah, I have Woodruff down.
I don't care. I don't know if I can handle this anymore.
My
I can't do it.
So, well, because it's a barley wine, we want to ruminate on it a little bit. My third beer, I'm gonna go with a sour. This one was probably the hardest pick on my list, but sour's so wide ranging. Is it going to be a Radler or something like that, or is it going to be like it's not going to be something super thick? Mm-hmm. So that's my 3. So right now I'm at Whippa Pils Sour.
Okay. I'm going with dark beer. I might rotate between porters and stouts. I think the final 3 are going to be rotations.
Okay.
So
it's your bar, so you can do whatever.
So dark beer on the third tap, probably a stout, but I'm not opposed to something like the Crooked Handle Peanut Butter Porter every now and then.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Seasonal.
I think it would sell well. Exactly. And every once in a while, a more expensive barrel aged stout, but for the most part, just a typical stout.
Yeah.
Not sure what, but probably a different stout every time.
So that
maybe the brown note followed by a Bourbon County, followed by chocolate.
Have you ripped into any of your bourbon?
I have one from 18, and then 2 from 20, and then this year's.
That's one thing I'm super pissed. I didn't get any 120-minute Utopias barrels because they. Do you see they married them?
No, I didn't see that. Shit.
Well, they can't sell in Ohio because again distribution laws here. But I have people willing to spend my money for me, and they didn't see them out either. But I know they were all over. They were all the rage. I'm hoping they do it in their fall release too.
Yeah, that'd be great. I know I did tell the story
to get that marriage.
I was in Chicago, and this guy was trying to sell 120 minute to somebody.
Yeah.
He wouldn't buy it, so I went and scooped it up. It was
the
last one.
You got it.
So I got that at home too.
It's nice just seeing that stuff out in the wild when you do see it. Like at a gas station in Alaska when I was
just sitting
Alaska
there?
last summer.
Damn.
I bought everything that they had on the shelf and keistered it. Had a couple there obviously, and then because other people.
Any Anchorage stuff? Phil's been.
He is pushing
on an Anchorage binge. He's got some good stuff from Barrel House.
And here's my thing with I love Anchorage. Don't get me wrong. 49th State is I just like it better.
Okay.
But Anchorage is again. This is very. We do big stuff in Alaska, but it's just that Spruce Explosion and the Spruce Tips and being the beer of the year for me for 2022. It's just. That was an exceptional time.
Yeah.
That Spruce Tips. Spruce beer. That's why I got excited about a beer that we did a long time ago.
Spruce Tip, yep.
So that's going to be a Spruce Tip.
Nice.
More spruce, please. Anyways, this beer. This is dangerous. Yeah,
this beer is dangerous. There's almost no taste of alcohol in this beer. It tastes like... syrup, maple syrup maybe, some sort of syrup, sugar syrup. You could taste the brown. I don't know if it'd be brown sugar per se, but that there's a darker sweetness about this beer.
Darker sweetness.
It's just excellent. It's balanced perfectly. You can't tell that this beer is a 15%, and that's saying a lot because we've had beers that are 8, 9, 10% that you're like, holy shit, the alcohol is in this beer.
They were very heavy-handed.
Crazy. And this beer is almost not there at all. It does make me wonder what else is in this beer, how much sugar is in this beer. We talked a little bit last week with Chuggalos Phil about using sugar as the fermentation, actual raw sugar, and then having leftover sugar in the beer. What happens to the beer? It gets super sweet, almost too sweet. This beer is sweet in a way that it's not imposing, but it does give the feeling maybe there's a lot of sugar in this beer, but in a good way. It does have a syrupy taste, which is interesting because I don't think syrup was anything announced with what you had said about this beer. Okay, well maybe there's something in the malts that's giving that off. An arresting embrace of malt and barrel. So if they're describing it as that.
On the tasting guide, they have vanilla, if that helps you out.
Nah, I don't really get the vanilla. Let me see.
Summons notes of caramel, stone fruit, brown sugar, and vanilla.
Brown sugar.
Does that like help you round it out, or no? Yeah. You feel misled a little bit.
Yeah, I feel misled.
Well, F you tasting notes.
But I mean, we're better at this than most people, I think.
You for sure.
No, not at all. But the last barley wine that we did that Chuggalos Phil had, I mean, he paid a hefty note for that.
That was the bleed out?
Yeah. We that review on its own was minutes long.
Yeah.
Many minutes long. I mean, we're talking like half an hour probably just for the review of that beer. It was a complicated beer. This one's less complicated in how many flavors it has, but I feel like barley wines are creeping up to become what I feel like people think stouts are.
Yeah.
These barrel-aged stouts, that's what barley wines are becoming. Like, they're a beer that you could sip on them and really just kind of discover it over time. You can discover the beer. It's got a bunch of different flavors. I even feel like you could pair this well with other foods. Some stouts might ruin your palate. Not ruin it if the stout's good, but ruin it to other foods. Whereas I feel like I could probably eat something cheap and quick like tater tots with this, but I could also bring this to a steakhouse and have this with a nice steak. I could even drink this while everyone else eats dessert. It's really got a lot of good flavor in it. And I think I was always scared about barley wines. Like, for so long. We started this in 18. And I think, maybe from 18 to 21, we probably did like 2-3 barley wines maybe at most.
At most.
And now we see them, and I think we're tempted to buy them.
I'm sought after. Like, if it's not going in, because my barley wine cellar right now is really good. And we will have another one, DJ Khaled, here in a couple of weeks. It felt good to tag you in Untapped, by the way.
Yeah,
I just tagged you.
It does feel good. It feels good to be tagged. This is an excellent beer. I think if this is what people are talking about when they're drinking those barrel-aged stouts, like if this is what they're going through when they drink them, then I'm on board. Not with the stouts, but with that feeling. Very good. Less complex. And sometimes keeping it simple is the way to go. What's my score here? Man, it's hard because you really can't drink too much of these, but boy, could you. On accident. That is,
on accident.
Yeah. You could. I would not order a pint of this, that's for sure. I bet they wouldn't even give you this in a pint.
Depends where. Like, you couldn't get it here in Ohio in a pint. No, there's no way. You're going to get it in like a snifter.
Yeah.
You're going to get a 5-ounce pour of this for sure. And we're splitting a 12-ounce can.
They're going to throw you a whole pint. They're going to give you a pitcher of this.
Yeah. It's nice when you can go to those bars and you can find like a good deal, like a good pitcher or whatever, Miller Lite or whatever, but like a Truth pitcher or whatever, and they charge you like the Miller Lite price. That's the magical places that still do that, because it's been a while since I've ordered a pitcher of beer, but I appreciate the shit out of those places that like will honor that.
Oh yeah,
because that's a good deal. You feel like you're getting away with highway robbery.
Most places understand now, like pitcher night at the bowling alley is domestic only, domestic light beer only.
Yeah, they're not
gonna confuse it.
Back in my volleyball days, we would do because there was a pitcher trophy too. There was the competitive, but then the drinking trophy.
Yeah.
And they, for a pitcher of Captain and Cokes, it happened. It was $3 more. It was $8 for a pitcher. But you would
That's a good deal.
But it's a very good deal. But you would get, so a pitcher, you would get one. A pitcher of Captain Coke, you would get 3 credit for 3 pitchers. So like we were just walking around playing volleyball with all the team members.
You get credit for 3 pitches. Oh, I see.
So
what
like
you're
how
saying.
many you ordered. So like
so
it was
the
half
trophy
cakes.
was for how much you drank.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That seems dangerous.
Dude, well, welcome to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That was those were like those were college summers like.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. You
and we were halfway.
A certain age.
We were halfway decent at. So yeah, there wasn't like play the volleyball game, get off to life. No, like you're staying there. For a while.
That's it. Well, as far as this goes, I think the scent of this beer is like a barley wine. It's pretty standard, and it was when I first smelled it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like really average, and but I tasted it, and it's not. It's very sweet. It's like ultra approachable. It has all of the best things about dark beer and none of the bad stuff. No bitterness, none of the coffee, none of the chocolate. It's just a sweet drink. And I don't know what this would taste like to somebody who doesn't drink a lot of high alcohol beer, but I can't taste the alcohol. And I feel like for as high ABV as this would be an entry level barley wine.
Yeah.
Like it's so not imposing. It's just good all around. We've kind of been cursed by having had some of the best barley wines I think we're going to have in our lives so far. And this isn't one of them, but it is up there. So 4 or 5.
It's such a unique position for this beer being the first one that we do and coming back. And again, it was like, oh, what do I pick? And, I threw a few bombers in that I bought just in case I wanted to go a different direction. But I'm glad I went with this because the sweetness is the malt in this is fantastic. And that's why I like barley wines, and I'm turning on to barley wines like in the last 2 years, specifically since last spring. Forward, where I seek them out, and they're going to be, if you have it on your menu, it's the first thing I'm ordering. Because I like the weightiness of the decisions that were made into the beer, but not the beer itself. Yeah. Because it doesn't have the viscosity of a porter or a stout, but it's got the complexity. And, this is a battle that I got into with a couple of people over the last couple of months is, where that's the reason why I chose a Pils is because everyone now is in the pursuit of the perfect Pils. You only get like the four ingredients. Mm-hmm. Where this, like you make a couple of mistakes and you can throw in some sugar, some caramel. Caramel is the hallmark of this beer. The silkiness, the smoothness with it just carries out throughout the entire tasting experience. This is, again, he says this is dangerous. Like if you could have because it's so smooth, it doesn't punish you for having it, and it should for being a 15% beer. Off the top rope, this is a 4.75. I should have bought more of this for a 4 12-pack. I think it was price point right at 30. I'd have to go back through some pictures because I was sending pictures to JT when I was up in Minnesota buying some stuff. So if he knows, he'll go through some of his. There's a couple of bombers or whatever specifically that I bought specifically for us. But this one, and again, it's always good to like target, JT with his Chicago-ness. But Rev, we've never said anything. They're right up there with Pipeworks too. Pipeworks was the first beer that we ever did, and it's nice to acknowledge good breweries when they happen. But yeah, this 4.75. I bequeathed. I bought a 4-pack. I've got one other can. I bequeathed the other 2 to other individuals. None of them have had theirs yet. So
it's very good.
It's going to be exciting to see what they think about theirs.
Yeah, it's what do you think about the fact that Rev is such a big brewery? If this same beer was brewed, do you think it's better with Revolution being the size they are, or do you think? Is it like something where we could say, wow, this beer's great from them. Imagine if it was done by, mom and pop shop.
Oh, separating it because they're kind of one of the bigger guys.
Like, does it feel like you were mentioning the thought that's put into this.
Yeah.
And when you're a big brewery like that and you have a lot of, maybe investors, maybe people with a vested interest in your business.
Their fingers in the decision-making process.
Yeah, there's only so many risks you can take.
Yep.
And this beer is a barley wine that tastes like a barley wine that's brewed well.
Yeah.
If it was done by somebody smaller, would it be worse or better? And that's I wonder.
It's one of those questions that I've wanted to ask.
They nail it.
And, because like we could ask, our friends down at Crooked Handle about this too, because that's probably, our common where we have that. Do you ever just dump something because it's not going to live up to your standard, or do you hope that? Because back when I brewed a little bit more, like we had a jungle brew where we just leftover ingredients, and it wasn't a planned, but you always write everything down, and it receives so many comments like, "Oh, this is interesting. We're glad we wrote it down." Now, granted, it was ironically the last time that we brewed, but happy accidents, or as who Bob Ross would say, man. So this was targeted because they've done Straight Jacket before, but the fact that they put this in a bourbon barrel and got those caramel notes or whatever outside of that bourbon barrel is interesting. Like you said, it would be nice to know what barrels they chose.
Yeah.
Because now I'm pursuing that bourbon. I don't think by any means it's going to have the same taste or the same silkiness, because that's just not bourbon. But if that's what that decision was made, they hit a home run with it.
Yeah.
Like that targeted decision.
I think Rev, in my opinion, they're the Goose Island of Chicago. Just from being from there, they make better beer.
Yeah, so they're big enough to go toe to toe.
Yeah, they can go toe to toe, and it really at this point was a selection choice.
Yeah,
and I think that Goose Island's business personnel were better at business than Revs. And no offense to them, they're doing great. They're here, they're distributed widely.
Yeah,
but like you're in Wrigley Field if you're Goose Island. You're in pretty much all the stadiums. You're on billboards, and I just don't think there's enough brand recognition of Rev. But they should have been the top dog.
Oh yeah, they
should have been what Goose Island is.
I get you.
I think Goose Island's making subpar beer to Rev.
And that's kind of like, do you make it ho hum? You don't take risks. To appeal to a wider fan base, because we're pretty niche. I mean, we like a lot of things, and we can go to any bar and find something we would like. But we're the minority in that fact, where there's other people like our dads or whatever that are like, they're going to stick to the same one or two beers.
Yep.
And maybe get like a snifter or whatever of something else, but hardly ever. They know what they like. They've got the same pair of underwear that they've had for 20 years.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
With that, I need your fourth beer.
You need my fourth beer.
Your fourth tap.
My fourth tap is going to be... good question. I'm going seasonal.
I feel like you've said seasonal on all of these.
Did I?
All of them. All of them
you
are
said
rotating.
Seasonal for
all
me.
Of them are
you
rotating.
said seasonal for. They're all. Yeah, I said that taps 3 through 5 are rotational.
Yeah.
But they are themed. So like 2 is going to be an IPA.
Yeah.
And I might do Truth or Boat Show or something local, but it's always going to be an IPA. Then the third one's going to be a rotational dark beer.
Yep.
Stout or porter. Maybe even barley wine. I don't know. That seems like maybe that'd be risky.
Yeah.
I'd never sell that.
Recency bias.
Yeah, definite recency. So stout porter, I'm gonna stick with that.
Stout porter.
The fourth one, I'm gonna go with seasonal just because they're not beers that I like, but again, my bar so far is all driven to who's gonna drink. Like, how can I sell the most beer?
Yep.
So you're gonna have your Christmas ale during Christmas time. Maybe I don't like it, but other people might. Maybe a shandy in the summer, something refreshing. Maybe even spring and fall. Maybe bring in a seltzer or something. I don't know. Are those on tap? Do those go on tap? I don't know how seltzers work.
You'd think the carbonation. You can carbonate.
Let's skip seltzer. Let's just go with seasonal beer. So right now I'm at shandy and Christmas ale. Then Oktoberfest.
Yep.
So you gotta have
Like
a
a
tap
Marzen.
for those rotations.
My fifth one's going to be a stout. I just lauded the flexibility or pliability of a barley wine and not the fullness or whatever. But there's other people that crave that, and it's going to be a good juxtaposition to an IPA.
Yeah, there are people who crave, and I think that the barley wine finally made me realize what those stout people are talking about.
Yeah,
because I don't get that. From stouts.
You get a bunch of like adjuncts and stuff. I would say with IPAs are up there in sours or whatever, but like adjuncts or like certain players with stouts. By the way, being in Ireland and having a proper Guinness, you never realize how long 225 is unless you're sitting at a bar waiting for a beer. Because for a proper pour of a Guinness, it takes
gotta sit.
It takes that long or whatever, but it's still good. And then my fifth beer, I'm going to round out. This is going to be, I just called him out for recency bias. It's going to be recency bias for me. It's a barley wine.
Okay.
I like it big, weighty. I'm not going to make any money compared to JT's bar.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go down with the ship. So I'm going to do a barley wine.
My fifth beer is going to be the rotational sour. It's always going to be experimental and absurd sounding. So you release something with graham crackers or marshmallow, something like that. Anything from 450 pretty much, or even froth.
Fruth. God, I had a fruth.
Anything from them.
That's the one I thought that turned, by the way, was my fruth.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
And there's a new one in town that's not in town, but it's
Around.
It's just really good. I can't remember what it is. But
I haven't gone and seen Pat
even
yet.
Urban Artifact, yeah.
Oh, UA. Oh.
So Pat's where I got the Four Locos, because I assumed my incorrect assumption was that I could find a 40 there.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't.
No.
So I got two 23s.
The reason why, I guess, with 40s is because you need a separate holder for them with cans and stuff like that. Even with 23s, because they just go taller. They have the same girth. So
that I went there and that, man, they're stacked. So much good beer. I could have spent $1,000 today.
Oh, you went today?
I went just for the Four Locos.
Oh,
well, I was actually there for a 40, but yeah, just for that, because I figured, I could wait till the last minute for this.
Yeah, my plan is to go see him this week while I'm off. So in review, because there's so much I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Whippa, Pills. Sour, that's the one I'm vacillating on, and I know that's a surprise to the Chuggalos. A stout and a barley wine.
Yeah,
those are my 5.
Yeah, I got a American light beer,
which is the best financial decision.
It's a good.
I'm going to be open for 2 weeks.
And I got the IPA, the stout / porter.
Yeah,
and then I've already forgotten the fourth beer. What was it? It was seasonal, and then the sour, rotational sour, but totally to my liking. The fifth tap is mine.
Yeah,
basically.
The bar master's tap.
Like, I want blow my mind with some beer. Give me like sour as fuck one week, and then and that's gonna be the 6-day beer that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Where if the tap's not blown in 6 days, I'm switching it out. So people like me can come back every week and find something new.
And that's the thing. That's what I like about these breweries that have memberships or gimmicks or whatever like that. Make people feel a part of the community or whatever that in Wisconsin we have like Shake of the Day. They have Keno here, but something bar centric like
Shake of the Day. Is that like a milkshake?
No, like a dice game.
Oh, I don't gamble, so I don't know any of this stuff.
So you throw down $1. It's like getting a Yahtzee on one roll. They have different rules or whatever, and then the pot gets to the $40,000-$50,000 or whatever. But have something like that where, again, people, ownerships, and I know the laws are you can't give away beer and stuff like that. That's fine, but like, give people a 10% discount or whatever, like every 10th beer. Not a punch card because you can't do it that way.
Give them a gift card for an empty glass that might be full.
That might have a. Oh God, I love Tam Tots. But anyways, related off camera type thing. We gotta talk about. But, gosh, outside of that, there's so many things Did we cover everything on your Post-it notes?
No, I don't think we covered anything on my Post-it. But everything seems to...
I love that you're taking notes.
Yeah, it seems.
Where is JT and what did you do with him?
It seems to in the moment.
In the moment?
Yeah, like I took these notes when it was specific. Like you mentioned the hot and dry episode. I thought there was going to be more there, but there's not. There's some of this is just nothing there.
Yeah. I commented the shit.
Upload speeds, of course.
Oh,
was relevant to us
6.5 hours.
Recently, but not recently enough to where we should talk about it here.
20 minutes to upload 6.5. It took a 20-minute episode in my dry location. 20 minutes, and it took 6.5 hours to upload it.
Yeah. I do appreciate you recording that episode because I could tell that it was outside of your routine.
I didn't think that I would have a lot to talk about, and then because I didn't write anything, and then I was like, I have and then my daughters watched it too. So my Chuggalo Todd, my father-in-law, showed it to my daughters, and they got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
And with the gross mustache.
I had some notes on the mustache. So you said something like Stacy will not accommodate the mustache.
It's not.
And I had some more to say about that, but I don't remember what any of it was.
It's not accommodate. It's just so when I got back in 19, I'm getting hot. So when I got back in 19, I brought the mustache home, and I took a nap, and she came into the bedroom and goes like this, and she goes, "Hell no," and then left the room. So like and my mustache is nothing fantastic, but if you check out that episode, it was as much about the mustache, getting out and talking about the Chuggalos and stuff like that, as everything. But that was nice to do. Yeah. But the interesting thing about all of that is the positive response I got from people.
Yeah.
Just randomly, getting out there, and
it was nice to hear from you. Yeah.
We mean a lot to dozens of people.
Yeah, that's good. I realized that in bearing the weight of posting, I realized through comments and nudges and stuff. Hey, like people do wait for this to come out,
right?
And so
we appreciate your support more than you appreciate the opportunity to nudge us.
I never didn't take it seriously because it's a commitment to do the podcast, period.
Yeah.
So taking it seriously has been the case since it started, but like once we've done the podcast, taking seriously all of the follow up stuff, like posting it, for example, is something I learned quickly needed to be done immediately. So after a few weeks of you being gone, I started recording them ahead of time. Yeah,
it's a late because we sit here and we talk about the description or whatever because, and believe me, we have spelling mistakes and everything like that. But like we try to put out a product because. Yeah. I was looking at podcasting, like we always have wanted to go wider, sound effects and stuff like that. We just find something that works for us, in our safe place. I really dug the shit out of Randy Orton's episode.
Yeah, good.
I commented, I watched it. It was hilarious because again, manufactured, not animosity, manufactured, but it's fun to have like that. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing there. But it's fun to have that.
Yeah,
perceived
like a playful
banter.
rivalry.
Yeah. And he was gold on there. The value, and because of that, I bought Zombie Ice. So
good.
I have.
Yeah. Pat has that as well.
I have a couple Sixers of Zombie Ice.
I did not buy it because Randy Orton had stated he'd get it.
Yeah, and
he got it.
So I had one first one just a couple nights ago, but it's just it's so much fun.
And he's got a similar. It's funny because I'm stuck in the middle sometimes. Like you are very Wisconsin and Minnesota focused. He's very Indiana focused, and I'm like fighting you both because I don't really believe in Chicago.
Yeah. I just want to go on record. I'm never Minnesota focused.
Well, some of the beer you do lot it. Some of it.
Yeah, not Surly. Not the ones.
Surly.
Not the one. Not
they
the,
don't represent the whole state.
Not the ones you hear about. Yeah, the smaller guy.
Yeah, and I don't really largely, other than the 3 Illuminated, Pipeworks, and Revolution.
I do log
I don't
two
really
levies.
have a lot of.
Have you had that yet?
No, I haven't had that yet.
It's a good one.
No, I have had 4 levies. It just came out. You missed it. You were gone. I actually bought all of it, the whole pallet.
Yeah.
I drank all of it myself.
It
was 5.
Chuggalo Nicole said she just sent me 2 bottles of it.
Oh,
2
okay.
levies.
Well, all right. Well, let's just let me know how it is when you have it. Other than those 3, I liked Whiskey Hill. I like Monkey. I can't remember the name of them. It's like not Monkey Wrench, but I can't. Metal Monkey.
Metal Monkey, yeah, because Golden Monkey is Canada.
Yeah. I like them, but like what I think I've grown accustomed to most is Ohio beer. But I don't fight for Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm from Illinois.
We still need to do Ohio style.
You and Randy Orton kind of keep me like fighting, both sides.
It's good because we don't have that group thing.
He's got 3 Floyds. He definitely has a very strong contender in the I'm from this state sweepstakes.
And they changed because I was going to try to hit Dark Lord Saturday because it was it was going to be plus or minus a day, but they changed Dark Lord Saturday, so now it's in May.
Yeah, it's like May something.
Yeah, it's no longer the last Saturday in April.
Man, that would have been cool.
There's so much and again, you post-it notes, write down notes. It feels good to write down stuff, make noise on the table, slamming shit around. But getting back to it, getting back in the saddle.
6
months.
6
really,
months. I didn't even realize
plus
it was
or minus.
that long. It's just been so
because
long.
we
did some virtual stuff.
We did some virtual stuff, and the virtual stuff is not because it's easier digitally to handle it all.
Yeah.
Because these in-person files are because the codec and everything, but
the number of pixels that make up my face just creates an enormous just bottleneck of upload speeds.
More is better. MOAR.
More is better.
But
MOER. Isn't that a brewery in Ohio? MOER or something.
Oh, Moorline. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
then you have their Moorline Barn.
The barn,
yeah, the barn. They opened one down in Dayton.
Yeah, right by the Dragon Stadium, I think.
Yeah, and then Little Fish is down there now.
Oh yeah, I took my kids to the Dragons game yesterday, and there's I didn't realize Little Fish was right there.
Yep.
And yeah, Moorline's got the barn factory or whatever, and then there's 2 other ones right there.
It's crazy.
It's right there.
I haven't talked to anyone yet. I'm wondering now if we're at our saturation point for breweries, but still.
No.
Little Fish, this is their second location.
Little Fish is making quality products.
Yeah.
There's some breweries that aren't. I'll just be real. They're not. But the newer ones that have been popping up, impressive.
God. So much beer to drink, and I'm gonna again not go off the deep end. Try to ease back into it. Try not to destroy these positive gains.
Positive gains. You know that the universe only has so much mass, and when you lose some of your own mass, it goes somewhere else.
Yep.
I like to think that I took a little bit of that mass. Thank you.
The universe only has so much mass.
That's true.
There's a lot of us.
There's
everyone
so
born
many
in the
mats.
80s.
There's not only in people.
Yep.
But objects as well.
Yeah.
A lot of mats.
Full of mats. But I think that's 231. That's a full heap and helping.
231. It's a great episode. And if you've made it this far, you're probably one of 3 people. Stev, Svil, and Randy Orton. I'm just kidding. Everyone who made it this far.
Chuggalos Ryan.
Through the episode, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the podcast in general. There's a lot of people who... But I want to thank everyone who helped me get through Matt's time away. It was... really great talking to all of you. Thanks for coming to my place at pretty much the time I designated.
Yeah.
Because then I didn't have to do anything during the day. So yeah, thanks for that. I think we had great content. Great. And there was one we did. Did we do the one at Stev's while you were on?
Well, Steb did one.
Yeah,
Steb did that solo.
He did a solo. Yeah, that was just drinking the old crappy beer, right?
Yeah, and that was weird because we did my solo, his solo, and then the mothership came out. Mm-hmm. It was
and that was the solo one where I couldn't find a guest.
It was a bulk week for the content. Yeah, but
that's
like
good.
the back to back
Perfect timing then. Yeah, there was one week I couldn't find. Either I couldn't find a guest or I couldn't find a guest who was available pre-Monday.
You sell yourself short on not, I was drinking water, but you sell yourself short on your ability to tap dance when you're by yourself.
Well,
Obviously, the magic is the banter back and forth.
More than when I did the podcast with Caterade, because she was not prepared to talk about the beer. Like I said, how is it? It's good. And I was like, oh no, this is gonna be a rough episode.
That's when you need what's that? And then what's the
Dude, Where's My Car?
But
Ashton Kutcher.
The trade comedy, the comedy store.
Like improv.
There we go. Gosh, where it's and then not just don't close it.
And then,
give them a ledge.
Like I was like, what is it? What are the flavors you're tasting? It was rough, but we got through it, and she acknowledged that it was unexpected, but just great slew of guests. And I thought that the whole time you were gone, it was going to be guests like Jeff. Yeah. Where I was going to get, and I was not able to really connect with a lot of industry people.
Yeah, the who's who.
But man, Phil is super stoked. He wants to do his own series.
He could
on the Brew Crew Network, where he does more educational stuff.
Again, the dream is to get Stev as the curator, and to make him just the producer for all of this.
Stev will produce. We'll have Phil as the Bill Nye type guy, and then I think that Ryan could do his own thing.
Yeah. Well, that's why they did the up north, and there's still a video that I said I would get up there. It was from the Packers game that we went to, but where we did a beer, and it was a monumental beer that we opened. He's like, put it up, and it was like a minute. It was a short.
Oh wow, it's really short.
I should get it up there because it's all the. But with the up north crew, that's what.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Him and his wife, just phenomenal
they enjoy
episodes all the time. I mean, Mikey too, really great episodes. A lot of them were with you, so it's kind of like a good compliment. Just we could really have a beer network here.
Originally, Mikey and I were going to do an episode right before I left, but that day we started off. We were world beaters that day, and there wasn't an opportunity. We went to some crazy places, but there wasn't an opportunity to just hit the record button. But
it's all good.
Yep,
it's all good. That's episode 231. Brew Crew Podcast finally back in its original form.
Old school.
Old school. Bye. Bye.